started as school leader. Every school leader goes sometimes in a year for 1 or 2 days on a course. And every course they ask, develop your ideal school. And we do it on that course. And at the end of the course we go home and we make a wrap of it, we throw it away and we go to normal. So, and this time I didn't do it. So this was my idea, and I go around and talked with others about my idea. And I found my companions on Mieke, my chef, and Bert. We developed the idea into a vision, into a textbook. We wrote it down and with a nice cover on it, and we named it already Agora. And then we went to search for teachers who are engaged and happy about this idea, and who want to say, okay, give us the opportunity to develop it to a real kind of education. And we did. So we did a search, and we found 7 teachers who got a year time to make it real. And they fixed it. It was a struggle, but it was a very nice struggle, from my opinion, because at this moment we have an Agora, which started with an idea on a course by me. I shared it with 2 colleagues. We made a text. We did a search for teachers who have the passion with a text, with a vision, and who said, okay, give me the opportunity to make it real. That's Agora on this moment. So it's another way of developing something new by, we are used to write plans from the director, and the director says to his teacher, you have to do it in this way. No, we did it from the opposite. We have an idea, and we did a search for teachers who wants to develop this idea. And give me the plan if it's ready, when it's ready, and if it works. Then. So write it down, not before it works, instead of write it down before you even know what it will look like. So they did a great job. It was not an easy job. Also, neither for me, because I'm a leader, and we all work and think in a certain frame of leadership, of teachership, of being a student, being a teacher. Students are sitting over there on a low table in a chair and are obey the teacher and talk not before the teacher has talked. And now it's totally turned around, because the child on Agora is in the lead. They have a question, the teacher is following. So that was very painful to accept it, to have the guts to do it, even by the teachers who developed Agora. So when they had a year to develop it. And then the starting point was practice in August 2014. So the children were there, and then they had to practice what they worked out the year before. And there was the enormous pain of, oh, I have to do it. I have to trust the children. I have to trust myself. To how do you say it in good English? To give the process the chance that it will come right. That the question of the children will lead to a product with we can mention at a certain value, and so it was a deschooling process, which was very harmful and painful, and got a lot of tears by some teachers. But we have to go on and trust each other and encourage each other. And think about the vision which you were very excited of at the starting point, and you developed it, so you can do it, and they can, children can, and teachers can. So I think it will be a success. Yes. It's the playing together between smartness and wisdom. And we all are adults. We have life experience. And we say to each other, we are adults that are capable to prepare our kids for the future. But we don't know the future. We don't know the future. Kids now born will become the age at 100 years. And they will, kids who are starting now at school, they will enter the labor market in 2032. I don't know what is next year, what will be in 2032. So we have to embrace the uncertainty and take it for real. That's the essence of life. But we are no animals. But we have something which we call instinct by animals. I will call it wisdom by our life experience. And we have learned and we have experienced how to live and how to anticipate on some situations. And we have learned on which base we can trust each other and we can trust ourselves. So that's an important need to have. Will you be successful as teacher on Agora? A good fundamental personal structure who knows who I am, who I want to be, what steps I have to make, how trustful and how self-confident I am. So that's important. That's some essential coaching question to do your work good. And I have, as school leader, have to develop, but also to take care. That it will exist on Agora for our teachers. And then when we say, okay, we prepare our children for the uncertain future, then we have to accept that the future is also uncertain for us. And we don't know what they need in 2032, we don't know what they need in 2016, so let's start. Maybe they know. They are smart. And they set steps which are not very good at this moment. So I'm the wise guy and say, I know you want to go that side, but it's not appropriate on this moment. We have to first to do that, and then we make a plan, and we will take care that you come on that side you want to go now. And that's I'll do that with my teachers, and the teachers will do that with their kids. So it's play. I don't know if it's a good word, but it's a playing field with smartness, with trust, wisdom, uncertainty, and talk and have the good dialogue with each other. And that's the main issue we talk about in our talks with our teachers. So they learn how to talk about this issue with their kids. So more important than I know a lot of English, I know a lot of mathematics, is the object of I know who I am, and I know who I want to be, and I know how I behave myself in myth of other people, and especially the myth of kids, which I am responsible for to do the good things so they have a good life and participate in society. So it starts with the teacher as person, yes, in a team with others, because you never are alone. You have also to deal, always to deal with others in that case. No, we have to accept that some kids are more smart than I am. That's a fact. But there's also the fact that I'm wiser than them, because from my age, from my life experience, and that's my relation with that kid. So I accept that he's smarter than me. I learn from him. He tells me something I didn't know, and I like it, and I enjoy it. But in the path he or she will choose, I'm the most wiser guy then, and that's the kind of when you accept that the child can learn you something, he will accept that he will accept you as his guide to do the right things with that knowledge he has. And that's a relation. I think that's a dynamic we have to organize, and we have to give a chance. So if there's a teacher who says, "Oh no, I'm the boss here," I think you are not ready at this moment for Agora. I even think you are not ready to work in education wherever. No. And my other schools are not Agoras. They are schools who exist for a long time already, and negative formulated big tankers who are on the big ocean, and I have to turn them a little few degrees to the right or to the left. That's a huge challenge, a huge responsibility. But it doesn't depress me, because the focus I have on Agora is the same I have on my 3 other schools, because I have a great responsibility, but I like to make it simple, and my major task from my responsibility exists in 2 things: to prepare my schools for the coming 5 till 10 years. So that implicates they must be innovated, because society changes, so my schools have to change. And the second one is to make it possible for my employees to do it. So I have to coach them, I have to lead them, I have to educate them, I have to professionalize them. And I think that are the 2 major things in my thinking and in my work for Agora, but also for the other 3 schools. And that makes it less complex, and that makes it workable, and that makes it in my tone of voice is the same in my oldest school and on Agora, and everybody understands me. But the effect and the effect you can see in the school is different. Of course, it is different, because my 3 other schools are no Agora, will never become an Agora. I'm sure about it. But that's not a pity. It's the case. So my focus is on the future, and my focus is on the people who are working in my organization. And I think that are the most important 2 things to prepare the children for the future, and to make my employees able to do that. So I speak nearly the same language in all my schools, but because of the system the other schools exist till years, it's more complicated. It's tone of voice which not immediately leads to other behavior or another relationship, I have to say. Not immediately leads to another relationship between teacher and children, because of the system, because we have classrooms, because we have schedules, because we have books. But the thinking about how do I prepare my kids with that book, from my opinion, it can be the same. I don't have to read it for my kids. I have to learn them questions which are not in the book, but are more important to learn something about English or biology. Or so. That's the dynamic we want to bring in our schools. And it's successful, but on little steps, with very little steps, not on the flow and the dynamic of Agora, because that's a new one, and teachers have chosen to work on Agora. And in the other schools, they are not familiar with that kind of thinking, and they are less familiar with that kind of working.